In this video, we will see demonstration of pivot tables and the concept of VLOOKUP. Sheets have another feature of pivot table under data tab. Pivot table is a table of statistics that summarizes the data of extensive nature. So this summary might include sum, averages and other statistics which the pivot table groups together in a meaningful way. So for this, we can select our whole data range and we click on Data and Pivot Table. By creating a pivot table, now we see that Google Sheets gives some recommendations here. For example, count of email for each name prefix in our data. In our data, we do have name prefixes and the corresponding emails to the employees. So it will count how many prefixes are having the emails. So if we click over here, it gives us the summary. So it is a statistical summary of count that yes, number of persons who have emails are doctors and they are in number 4. Similarly, misters are 25, professors are 5 and so on. So this is the automatic summary that have been generated by the pivot table. We can also create our own pivot table on the corresponding data. For demonstration purpose, I have taken this data in which we have name of the employees, then items sold by the employees, their quantity and their corresponding price. So again, we can select the whole data. We go to data and pivot table. We create a pivot table. This allows us to choose the rows, columns and the corresponding values. For example, we want to see that which employee sold which kind of items and in what quantity. So we can add the rows and here I select the name of the employees as the rows. Then we can add some columns. For example, items sold by the employees. Here we selected items sold in the columns. And then we can choose the corresponding values that we want to give to the table. For example, I add quantity. So it adds that what quantity of the item has been sold by the employees. For example, Benjamin has sold 119 books, no pens, but yeah, 42 stamps. And this is the grand total, the number of total items that have been sold. So this is how pivot tables gives us the summary of the data. Also, we can add some filters to this summary. For example, if I add filter here, I can choose the filter on quantity. Here it is showing all the items, but we can filter by some condition or by some values. Let's try this one. Filter by condition. Here we can choose that we want to show all the quantities that are greater than, let's say, 50. So we enter 50 and we say OK. So as we can see that all the values below 50 have been removed in the statistical summary. So this is a very easy and comprehensive way to analyze our data in a quick format, and pivot tables are very useful for that. See another function, VLOOKUP. Google Sheets VLOOKUP function can be used to look for a particular value in a column, and when that value is found, we return a value from the same row from another specified column. This is exactly how when we go to an expensive restaurant, what we are trying to look for in the menu is the item, and then our eyes move to the right to see the price of that dish. So similarly, VLOOKUP function works in Google Sheets. So let's see how it works. So for demonstration purpose, I've taken an employee ID and I need to fetch the value of the salary of the employee having the employee ID 499687. So we can use VLOOKUP function for this. The first entry in the VLOOKUP function is the search key. This is the value of the item we are looking for. So we are looking for this employee ID. And then the second parameter is range. This is the range that is to be used in the VLOOKUP function. So here we can use the whole range for the database. Then the third entry is the index. This is the column number where you want to get the result from. So I want the result from salary. So I have to select the column number of the salary. And usually the column numbers are starting from 1, and then this is the column 2, this is column 3, and so on it goes for the salary. We have Z column, so this is the 26th column, and we mention 26 here. Then the last column is sorted. In this argument we can specify whether we are looking for an exact match or an appropriate match, and we can set it to false for an exact match, and which is preferable. So we set it to false and I press enter. So this fetched the value of the salary of employee having a ID 499687. If I have more and more number of rows, like if I have a record of 1000 employees, then it's very difficult to search for the individual values. In that purpose, we can use VLOOKUP functions. Coming up next is templates for education in Google Sheets. Stay tuned.